Yes, excuse me about that. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of history on the state of Oregon, which is the state I'm in now. You've probably seen some pretty beautiful footage of Oregon by now. But, yeah, so let's get started. Oregon, which is the 33rd state admitted into the Union on February 14th, Valentine's Day, in 1854. And this is news to me when I read it and read it myself. The Europeans began exploring the Oregon coast from the Philippines in 1564. That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's even before the Mayflower. I'm not sure, but yeah. That's before Columbus discovered America, which is weird, if I'm correct. So, the Oregon Trail, which passes through Oregon, and it passes through a couple more states. I know one of them's Idaho, and I think another one's Utah. Lewis and Clark traveled through Oregon in search of the Northwest Passage, which is the passage that brought new people to settle the Oregon lands. In 1842 to 43, Oregon Trail brought new Americans to settle the country. So that's all I have for you now on Oregon, because I had very little space to write. So let's back up here and let's see a little bit more of Oregon, shall we? Follow with me. Look at that beauty there. Beautiful snow-top mountain. And that up there is fresh powder because it did snow yesterday in this area. So before that it was probably bare. As you can see, it's not very much snow. Because, like I said, that's fresh snow, fresh powder as they call it. And it was brought in yesterday by a little snow storm they had. Remember, buckle up, Oregon. Buckle up, anybody. Anytime you're on a ride, anytime you're in a vehicle, please use your belt buckles. It'll save your life. I don't necessarily agree on some of that, because I do know people that if they would have had a seatbelt on would have been decapitated. Which is why I have a thing on my seatbelt, and I will show you later in a different video, the things that I have to help me keep my head. Anyway, let's go. Okay, Corey, you see me coming? There's a whole other line there, and it's green. Cold up here, honey. I would love to live up here. are hills to me. Matter of fact, after going to Alaska last year, the Rocky Mountains are hills to me. So, and when we get to Alaska, and I made that video, and you see the mountains there, you'll see why I call the Rocky Mountains hills. Because there is no comparison. None. The Rocky Mountains ain't got nothing on the Alaska Mountains and the mountains in the Yukon. Falling Rocks, next 3 miles. And you wonder where rocks are going to fall from sometimes. You gotta understand right here. Maybe if you went blast to the mountains, make road, you wouldn't have to worry about very many falling rocks. Maybe go around the mountains or something, or go through a natural valley, which this kind of is, but even though they still had to blast some of the mountains away to build this road. Beautiful country. Look at that. Definitely. You can see God's creativity here. And then of course you got human creativity over there. Yeah. Thankfully, I think it's just a cement plant, so it's not really that bad. So no really harmful emissions, just a lot of friggin' dust to make your allergies go wacko. And I knew it was a cement plant before because I've traveled this road many times in the past year since I've been delivering animals, because I seem to get a lot of trips going northwest. So, but I don't mind it because I love the area. Even if it is snow and ice, driving through it in the middle of winter. We love smooth roads like this. y'all get mad because they're coming here. Bring y'all's asses to the border one time. Walk across one of them bridges, one of the international bridges. Don't drive. Walk. And when you get on the other side of that Rio Grande, and you see them Mexican ladies and kids over there begging for water, begging for money. Yeah. And let me tell you, I give them money. I walk, if I go down to the Mexican border, and every time I've done this, and I walked across that international bridge into Mexico, I make sure I take a purse full of change. Because they don't know what to do with dollar bills. Because the Mexicans has changed. The peso. I make sure I have a wallet full of change. A little change purse. And I dump it. I dump it over the side. And let them get it. Because they need that money. There's not many jobs in Mexico. And if people leave, and if companies leave the U.S. and go to Mexico, then I have nothing against that. Because those people have nothing down there. And you people laid up over here in your big houses and your fancy cars. And y'all want to mock the Mexicans. Bring your ass down there one time. Walk across that border. Shed them tears like I shed. And let me tell you what I did last year. I brought a gung-ho Republican. Red as red can get Republican. I walked her across that border. I walked her into that town. I let her see with her own eyes. When we came back, she was emptying her pockets. She was crying her tears. And she looked at me, she said, Jeannie, you weren't lying. I said, I don't lie. I do not lie. Y'all talk about the Mexicans coming up in here and taking y'all's jobs. Well, there's jobs out there. They're out there taking the jobs you lazy white people don't want. Because y'all too lazy to get your ass out in the field and pick fruit by hand. Y'all too lazy to go pick fruit off of trees by hand. Because y'all lazy. That's what America has become, lazy. That's what white people have become, lazy. They're used to that silver spoon and that silver platter on their hands, given to them. And so that's what y'all expect. I don't want to hear nobody ever talk about Mexicans around me and about them coming and taking the job, because they over here, they're in them nurseries. They're out in them nurseries. They're picking them weeds. They planting them seeds. Something white person won't do. They out picking them fruits. They out picking up them nuts. They out picking apples. They out picking this. They're out doing everything a white person don't want to do. So don't bitch about them coming taking your jobs. They ain't taking your jobs. They can't take a job you ain't never had and you won't never have because you're too lazy. Rant for that over. Lazy ass white people. I'm disabled. I get a disability check. I'm gonna take it to work where I can work. Because I refuse to sit at home and just draw a check. I refuse to. When I know I can get out there and make money. Legal money, honest money. You don't see me begging on the corner for money from people with a sign, homeless, disabled, anything will help. Or back from war, took both legs. No, you don't see me doing that shit. Because 9 times out of 10, them motherfuckers go home with bigger houses than you do. Bigger, better houses, they eat better than you do. ahead and give them your money. And you just as stupid as the next person that does. I'd rather go my butt down to the border, give them my change, and I'm talking $20, $30 in change, so they could have a meal tonight. So they could get diapers for their baby, so they could feed their kids. Because they don't have, and they want what we have. And let me tell you something about this great country of ours. This country was founded by immigrants for immigrants. So if you're against the Mexicans or any other immigrant coming to this nation and trying to follow that American dream, you're wrong. You're wrong for that. You're wrong. Because your parents, your people, your ancestors were immigrants once. Because your white ass ain't got here no other way. Everybody who comes and who's in this country right now came from immigrants, unless you're Native Indian. So ain't none of you people out there got any right to say anything about immigrants. Because this country is for immigrants. And then y'all want to talk about religion. This country was also founded on the basis of freedom of religion. Where you can come over here, worship how you wish, worship who you wish, where you wish, and if you want to worship. Don't be trying to force your beliefs on somebody else. Your beliefs is your beliefs. Keep them to yourself. Keep them to your family. Probably you got people up in your family that probably don't even believe the beliefs that you believe. And you just don't know it. But they're holding it in. And they're looking at you like you're all kind of crazy. Like I said, this country was founded on two great things. Immigrants and freedom of religion. To come and find a better way for themselves. This country is too big to keep immigrants out. This country was founded on that. Your people were immigrants. My people were immigrants. Everybody's people from immigrants. Like I said, unless you're a Native American. If anybody should be bitching about anybody coming over and taking land, it should be the Native Americans. And we put in these little reservations because their skin ain't our color. Because they believe different than we believe. Why? Because we white and we think we're better. I'm no better than the next person, neither are you. For all I know, you be them dogs better than you that I'm hauling to Alaska. They probably better than you. So y'all need to suck up y'all snobbery and open this country and realize what it was built on, the foundations of this country that our founding fathers built this country on. Welcome your arms to immigrants. Don't snob them, don't snub them. Don't raise your nose up at them like you're better than thou, because your people were immigrants once too. And it just breaks my heart. And it really does. And I cry sometimes about that. It breaks my fucking heart going to wake up tomorrow because they starved to death. Their kids are going to wake up tomorrow because they starved to death. Look at this great country. Look at this land. Look at all this land.